Welcome to the story. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and support me.
Kate stood at the edge of the chronospire, the towering structure that pierced the sky of New Alexandria. The city below thrummed with the energy of countless races of humans, dwarves, elves, and others, all coexisting under the fragile balance maintained by the Time Weavers. Humans, however, held the reins of power, their mastery of time magic ensuring their dominance over the others. The sun dipped below the horizon, casting long shadows that seemed to dance with the whispers of time itself. As a young time weaver, Kate had always believed in the righteousness of her role. Her days were spent weaving the threads of history, ensuring that pivotal events aligned with the current human-centric narrative. Yet, lately, a nagging unease had settled in her mind, a feeling that something was amiss beneath the surface of their meticulously crafted reality. Her mentor, Ethan, had noticed her growing hesitation. A seasoned time weaver from the Time clan, Ethan embodied the ethical use of time magic. Unlike the mainstream human weavers who manipulated history for dominance, the Time clan sought harmony and balance among all races. His teachings had been a beacon of hope for Kate, guiding her towards a deeper understanding of their powers. Tonight, Kate was assigned a critical mission, just a pivotal event that solidified human dominance over the dwarves 2 centuries ago. The mission was routine, or so she thought. As she prepared her gear, a shimmering map of timelines unfolded before her, each thread representing a different potential path. Her task was to ensure that the Battle of Ironclad Ridge resulted in a decisive human victory, preventing the Dwarven rebellion from gaining momentum. But as Kate delved deeper into the mission parameters, subtle anomalies began to surface. Glimpses of altered moments, echoes of races suppressed and weakened, flickered in her mind's eye. She couldn't shake the feeling that these were not mere illusions but remnants of suppressed truths. The journey through time was always disorienting. Kate activated her temporal anchor, and the world around her dissolved into a cascade of colors and sounds. Moments blurred into one another until she found herself amidst the chaos of Ironclad Ridge. The air was thick with the sounds of clashing weapons and the cries of warriors. Humans fought with disciplined precision, while dwarves, though fierce, struggled against the overwhelming odds. Kate's presence was almost invisible, a silent observer weaving the threads to ensure the desired outcome. She focused on the critical moment when the human commander ordered a flanking maneuver that turned the tide of battle. As she adjusted the weave, ensuring the maneuver's success, a surge of energy pulsed through her. In that instant, she saw visions of what lay beneath the surface, a history rewritten to favor human supremacy, the other races suffering masked by carefully curated events. Returning to the present, Kate felt a chill run down her spine. The mission was a success, history remained aligned with human dominance, but the weight of her discovery pressed heavily upon her. She sought Ethan's counsel, hoping to find clarity. "Ethan," she began, her voice tinged with uncertainty, "I've seen things during my mission, moments that don't align with our current understanding of history. Why have the other races been weakened to such an extent?" Ethan listened intently, his eyes reflecting the depth of his knowledge. "The human time weavers have long manipulated key events to maintain their dominance. By altering pivotal moments, they've suppressed other races, ensuring that humans remain the primary power in this world." Kate's heart pounded. "But why? What purpose does this serve beyond control?" "Power, primarily," Ethan replied solemnly. "With control over time, humans can steer the course of history to their advantage, ensuring their prosperity and suppressing any threats to their supremacy." A surge of determination filled Kate. "This isn't right. We need to restore balance. Give the other races a chance to thrive without human interference." Ethan placed a reassuring hand on her shoulder. "It's not an easy path, Kate. The human time weavers are powerful, and they won't relinquish their control willingly. But with the right allies and a clear vision, change is possible." Fueled by Ethan's words, Kate embarked on a journey of discovery and rebellion. She knew she couldn't do it alone. Her first step was to find allies who shared her vision of a balanced world. Her search led her to Myra, a fierce dwarf warrior who had endured the brunt of human oppression. Myra was a legend among her people, known for her unyielding spirit and unmatched combat skills. Their meeting was tense at first, born out of mutual distrust. But as Kate revealed her knowledge of the manipulated timelines and Ethan's teachings, Myra's skepticism softened. "I've seen the scars humans have left on our history," Myra confessed, her voice laced with anger and sorrow. "If what you say is true, then we must act, for the sake of our people and the future of all races." Together, they began to assemble a diverse group of Robusta elves, orcs, and other races who had long suffered under human dominance. Each member brought unique skills and perspectives, strengthening their resolve to challenge the status quo. The plan was audacious: to alter key historical events that had been manipulated by the human time weavers, thereby dismantling their grip on power. But with every alteration, the complexities of time became more apparent. Each change had ripple effects, unforeseen consequences that could alter the present in unpredictable ways. Their first mission was to prevent the humans from securing the ironclad Ridge victory. It required precise manipulation of the timeline, ensuring that the dwarves could withstand the human assault and secure a strategic advantage. Kate felt the weight of responsibility as she prepared to weave the threads of time once more. As the mission unfolded, Kate navigated through the intricate web of time, ensuring that the dwarven forces held their ground. The battle was intense, but with careful adjustments, history began to shift. The dwarves emerged victorious, altering the course of events that had favored humans for centuries. Returning to the present, Kate felt a surge of hope. The immediate changes were subtle yet significant. The dwarven cities flourished, and their influence grew in the current era. But the victory was bittersweet. The success of the mission attracted the attention of Darren, a senior human time weaver dedicated to preserving human dominance. Darren was a formidable opponent, his mastery of time magic rivaling that of any time weaver. He saw Kate's actions as a direct threat to the established order and was determined to stop her. Their confrontation was inevitable, a clash of ideologies and powers that would shape the future of their world. As Darren intensified his pursuit, Kate and her allies faced increasing challenges. The human time weavers deployed every resource to counteract the rebels, leading to high-stakes chases through various time periods. Each mission became a test of their resolve, their ability to navigate the complexities of time without causing irreparable damage. Amidst the turmoil, Ethan remained a guiding force. His teachings became the foundation upon which Kate built her strategies, emphasizing the ethical use of time magic and the importance of maintaining balance. However, the escalating conflict took its toll. During a critical mission to secure a strategic event that would further weaken human dominance, Ethan made the ultimate sacrifice. The mission had gone awry, with unforeseen temporal anomalies threatening to unravel the very fabric of time. As chaos ensued, Ethan confronted the anomaly, using his remaining strength to stabilize the weave and save Kate. His sacrifice was a poignant reminder of the personal costs of their rebellion, deepening Kate's resolve to honor his legacy. With Ethan gone, Kate stepped into a leadership role, her determination unwavering. She strategized with Myra and the other rebels, planning the next phase of their rebellion. Each mission was more daring than the last, targeting events that had long been manipulated to favor humans. The balance of power began to shift, empowering the other races and diminishing human dominance. But Darren was relentless. Their final confrontation loomed on the horizon, a decisive battle that would determine the fate of time magic and the future of all races. The stage was set within the very fabric of time, a tumultuous realm where past, present, and future intertwined. As the two time weavers faced off, the air crackled with temporal energy. Darren wielded his powers with precision, attempting to unravel Kate's alterations and restore the original timeline. But Kate, fueled by her knowledge and the support of her allies, countered his every move. Their battle was not just a clash of magic but a struggle between oppression and liberation. In a moment of clarity, Kate realized that to defeat Darren, she had to transcend the traditional bounds of time magic. Drawing upon Ethan's teachings, she wove a new three-to-one of unity and balance. The surge of energy emanated from her, enveloping the tumultuous time stream and stabilizing the weave. Darren, overwhelmed by the sheer force of Kate's resolve, faltered. His attempts to restore the original timeline were thwarted, his powers eclipsed by Kate's ethical manipulation of time. With a final, decisive weave, Kate overcame Darren, ensuring that the altered timelines would sustain a balanced world. The aftermath was profound. Historical events had been redefined, human dominance was no longer unchallenged, and the other races thrived. The world began to transform, reflecting the newfound balance and cooperation among all its inhabitants. To prevent future abuses of time magic, a new council was established, comprising representatives from each race. Together, they would oversee the use of time weaving, ensuring that history remained just and diverse. Kate was appointed as the head of the Time Guardians, the body responsible for maintaining temporal balance. Under her leadership, time magic was strictly regulated, and the wounds of the past began to heal. The races worked together, their combined strengths fostering a society built on mutual respect and collaboration. The scars of oppression faded, replaced by a tapestry of unity and prosperity. In the quiet moments of reflection, Kate stood once more at the edge of the chronospire. The city below thrummed with life, now a harmonious blend of cultures and histories. She thought of Ethan, Myra, and all who had sacrificed for this new beginning. Their legacy was etched into the very fabric of time, a testament to the power of ethical use and the strength found in diversity. As the sun set, casting a golden hue over the horizon, Kate felt a sense of fulfillment. The journey had been arduous, fraught with challenges and losses, but the outcome was a world reborn. She knew that maintaining this balance would require vigilance and cooperation, but with the Time Guardians united, the future held promise. Kate turned away from the spire, her heart light with hope. The threads of time were now woven with care, ensuring a fair and just history for all races. The Time Weaver had not only changed the course of history but had also fostered a legacy of unity and responsible stewardship of power. And so, as night descended upon New Alexandria, the city glowed with the promise of a harmonious future, a world where all races thrive together, bound by the ethical use of time magic and the shared vision of a balanced and prosperous existence. Kate stood once more at the edge of the chronospire, the sun now fully set and the city of New Alexandria illuminated by the soft glow of bioluminescent flora and the gentle hum of harmonious activity among its diverse inhabitants. The council had convened earlier that day, a landmark event where representatives from all races of humans, dwarves, elves, orcs, and others had gathered to discuss the newly established regulations governing time magic. The air was thick with anticipation and a shared sense of purpose, each delegate eager to contribute to the fragile peace they had fought so hard to achieve. As the leader of the Time Guardians, Kate had assumed her role with a mixture of humility and determination. Her days were now filled with meetings, deliberations, and the constant vigilance required to maintain the balance they had painstakingly restored. The weight of responsibility was immense, but so was the support from her allies and the diverse communities that now thrived under the new governance. Today, however, was different. An urgent summons had been issued by the council, calling for an emergency meeting to address a series of unexplained temporal anomalies detected across various regions. These anomalies threatened to destabilize the very fabric of time, potentially undoing the progress they had made. Kate knew that such disturbances could only be the work of rogue time weavers or those who still harbored ambitions of power or sought to exploit time magic for personal gain. As she entered the grand hall of the council chambers, Kate was greeted by familiar face as Myra, now a respected strategist and second-in-command Allure, an elven scholar with unparalleled knowledge of temporal theory, and Thrain, a dwarven engineer whose innovations had revolutionized their approach to time manipulation. Together, they formed the backbone of the Time Guardians, each bringing unique strengths to the table. The anomalies have been occurring with increasing frequency, Alara began, her voice steady despite the gravity of the situation. We've detected temporal rifts in several key locations, each disrupting the local timeline and causing unpredictable effects. Some areas are experiencing accelerated aging, while others are reverting to previous states, undoing advancements we've made. Thrain adjusted his glasses, peering over a holographic display that floated above the central table. Our initial analysis suggests that these rifts are artificially induced. The patterns match those used by the human time weavers before the rebellion of precisely targeted manipulations designed to alter specific events. Kate's heart sank. Despite the Council's efforts to regulate time magic, remnants of the old regime still lingered, and their influence was proving more resilient than anticipated. We need to identify the source of these disruptions and neutralize them before they escalate further. If rogue weavers are behind this, they could undo all our work and plunge the world back into chaos. Myra nodded, her expression resolute. Agreed. We'll need a coordinated response, deploying teams to each affected area to contain and repair the rifts. I'll coordinate with the field units to ensure swift action. Alara raised a hand, her eyes thoughtful. Before we proceed, we should consider the possibility that these anomalies might not be isolated incidents. There could be a larger, more organized effort to destabilize the timelines. We need to investigate potential links between the rifts and any underground movements or factions that oppose the Council's regulations. Kate leaned forward, her mind racing. Do we have any leads on who might be orchestrating this? Any groups or individuals who might benefit from disrupting the current balance? Thrain tapped his fingers against the display, causing new data to appear. There have been whispers of a faction calling themselves the Temporal Liberation Front. They believe that time magic should be free from regulation, arguing that it belongs to all races equally rather than being controlled by a select group. While their numbers are small, their ideology aligns with the disruptions we're seeing. A murmur of concern rippled through the room. The Temporal Liberation Front had been a shadowy presence, rarely seen but known for their radical views on time magic. If they were behind the anomalies, it would mean facing not just isolated rogue weavers but a coordinated movement with a clear agenda. Kate took a deep breath, steadying herself. Then our first priority is to track down the leaders of the Temporal Liberation Front. We need to understand their motivations and stop them before they can cause more damage. This might require us to delve into historical events they've targeted, to anticipate their next move. Alara nodded in agreement. I'll work with our intelligence team to gather more information on their activities. Meanwhile, Thrain and Myra can begin deploying field teams to contain the existing rifts. We must act quickly to prevent these disruptions from spreading. As the meeting adjourned, Kate felt the familiar surge of adrenaline that came with facing a new challenge. The Council had entrusted her with the responsibility of leading the Time Guardians, and now it was up to her to navigate this emerging threat. She glanced around the room, seeing the determination in her colleagues' eyes. They were united by a common goal, each ready to play their part in preserving the delicate balance of time. Later that evening, Kate found herself alone in her office, the soft glow of luminescent crystals casting a serene light over the space. She sat at her desk, poring over reports and data collected by Alara's team. The patterns of the temporal rifts were intricate, almost like a signature left by a skilled time weaver. It was clear that whoever was behind this was not only knowledgeable about time magic but also possessed a deep understanding of its mechanics. As she studied the data, a thought struck her. What if the Temporal Liberation Front wasn't acting alone? Could there be other factions with vested interest in disrupting the timeline? The possibilities were endless, and the stakes were higher than ever. Kate knew that she needed to act swiftly and decisively, but she also understood the importance of caution. Rushing into action without a clear strategy could lead to further complications. Her contemplation was interrupted by a soft knock on the door. Looking up, she saw Ethan standing there, his expression both solemn and reassuring. Though he had sacrificed himself in a critical mission, his spirit seemed to linger, guiding her through the challenges ahead. Kate, his voice echoed softly in her mind, a comforting presence in the quiet room. Remember what I taught you. Time is not just a thread to be woven but a tapestry to be respected. Use your knowledge wisely. Drawing strength from his words, Kate felt a renewed sense of purpose. She looked up at the holographic display once more, her mind clear. All right, she whispered to herself. Let's get to work. The following days were a whirlwind of activity. Field teams were dispatched to the locations of the temporal rifts, working tirelessly to stabilize and repair the damaged timelines. Kate coordinated efforts from the council chambers, her mind constantly shifting between the present and the intricate web of time that connected all events. One particular rift stood out, located in the ancient forest of Elder Grove, a region known for its deep held heritage and untouched natural beauty. The rift there was causing rapid regrowth of vegetation, creating imbalances in the ecosystem and threatening the delicate harmony that the elves had maintained for centuries. Myra and a team of skilled time guardians arrived at Elder Grove, their presence a reassuring sight for the elven inhabitants. The team set to work, their actions precise and methodical, weaving the threads of time to mend the disrupted timeline. As they worked, Kate monitored their progress, offering guidance and support as needed. Meanwhile, Allure delved deeper into the origins of the Temporal Liberation Front, uncovering fragments of their ideology and historical grievances. It became clear that their motivations stemmed from a deep-seated resentment towards the Council's regulations, believing that time magic should be accessible to all rather than controlled by a select few. Their actions were a form of protest, albeit a destructive one, aimed at dismantling the very structures that sought to maintain balance and prevent the abuse of power. As the Time Guardians continued their efforts, Kate realized that addressing the Temporal Liberation Front required more than just stopping their disruptive actions. It necessitated understanding and addressing the underlying issues that fueled their rebellion. She decided to reach out to the leaders of the front, initiating a dialogue in hopes of finding a peaceful resolution. The meeting was set in a neutral location, a serene meadow where time seemed to flow gently, untouched by the chaos of temporal disturbances. Kate arrived with Myra by her side, both of them embodying the unity and strength of the Time Guardians. As they waited, a figure emerged from the shadows, an elven woman with piercing green eyes and an air of quiet determination. She introduced herself as Laura, one of the leaders of the Temporal Liberation Front. Her presence was both commanding and approachable, a reflection of her role in the movement. "Thank you for agreeing to meet," Kate began, her voice calm and measured. "We understand that you have concerns about the current regulations on time magic. We're here to listen and find a way to address your grievances without causing further harm." Laura nodded, her expression thoughtful. "Our main concern is that time magic, as it stands, is a tool of control. It's not just about maintaining balance, it's about who gets to wield power and who remains subjugated. We believe that time magic should be democratized, allowing all races to have equal access and the ability to shape their own destinies." Kate considered her words carefully. "We share the goal of equality and ensuring that no single group dominates others. However, without regulations, time magic can be exploited, leading to the very imbalances and oppressions we aim to prevent. How do you propose we achieve democratization without risking the misuse of such powerful magic?" Laura's eyes met Kate's with a spark of hope. "Perhaps there's a way to establish a system that empowers all races while maintaining oversight to prevent abuse. A council composed of representatives from each race, ensuring that no single group holds disproportionate power over time magic. We want to collaborate, not dominate." Kate felt a surge of optimism. That could be a viable solution. By working together, We can create a framework that upholds both equality and responsibility. Let's explore this further and outline the steps needed to implement such a system. As the meeting progressed, both sides found common ground, discussing the structure, governance, and safeguards necessary to ensure fair and ethical use of time magic. It was a challenging process, filled with negotiations and compromises, but the shared vision of a balanced and inclusive society provided the foundation for productive dialogue. Over the following weeks, Kate and Laura worked closely with the council and other representatives to draft a new set of regulations. These regulations aimed to democratize time magic, granting each race equal access and establishing a governing body to oversee its use. The process was arduous, requiring meticulous planning and unwavering commitment from all parties involved. Meyer played a crucial role in bridging gaps between different factions, her strategic mind and unwavering dedication earning her the respect and trust of even the most skeptical delegates. Thrain's technical expertise ensured that the new system was both robust and adaptable, capable of addressing potential challenges that might arise. Finally, after countless hours of deliberation and collaboration, the new regulations were ready. The council convened once more, this time with a sense of accomplishment and anticipation. The proposed system promised a future where time magic was a shared resource, managed collectively to benefit all races equally. As Kate stood before the assembly, she felt a profound sense of achievement. "Today marks a new chapter in our history," she declared, her voice resonating with conviction. "We have taken the first step towards a more equitable and harmonious society, where the power of time magic is harnessed responsibly and for the benefit of all. Let us move forward together, united in our commitment to balance, equality, and mutual respect." The assembly erupted in applause, the atmosphere charged with hope and determination. The journey had been long and fraught with challenges, but the collective efforts of the Time Guardians and the Temporal Liberation Front had paved the way for meaningful change. In the months that followed, the new governing body was established, its members representing the diverse tapestry of races that inhabited the world. Training programs were instituted to educate individuals on the ethical use of time magic, ensuring that all wielders understood both the power and the responsibility that came with their abilities. Under Kate's leadership, the Time Guardians evolved into the Time Guardians Council, a body dedicated to maintaining the balance and integrity of time magic. Kate herself became a symbol of unity and progress, her legacy intertwined with the very fabric of the world she had helped reshape. But peace, as Kate knew all too well, was a fragile construct. While the majority embraced the new regulations, remnants of the old regime lingered, their loyalties divided between the past and the promise of the future. Shadows of dissent occasionally surfaced, threatening to undermine the progress they had made. One such threat emerged in the form of a mysterious artifact known as the Chrono Shard, rumored to possess unparalleled time-manipulating capabilities. Legends spoke of its creation by ancient time weavers, its power harnessed only by those with the purest intentions. The council debated its existence, torn between the potential benefits and the dangers it posed. Alara, ever the scholar, advocated for its study. If the Chrono Shard exists, it could provide invaluable insights into the origins and evolution of time magic. Understanding its mechanisms might unlock new possibilities for maintaining balance and preventing future disruptions. However, Thrain cautioned against reckless experimentation. Such power, if mishandled, could wreak havoc on the timelines. We must tread carefully, ensuring that our pursuit of knowledge does not lead to unintended consequences. Kate found herself at the center of the debate, her mind weighing the potential rewards against the inherent risks. We need to investigate the Chrono Shard, but with utmost caution. If we can secure it and understand its properties, it might become a valuable tool in our efforts to safeguard time. However, We must also consider the implications of its existence and the motivations of those who seek it. The decision was unanimous. An exploratory team would be formed to locate and study the chrono shard. Kate volunteered to lead the mission, knowing that the journey ahead would require not just her skills as a time weaver but also her ability to navigate the complexities of trust and cooperation among the diverse team members. The team comprised Alara, whose scholarly expertise would be invaluable, Thrain, whose engineering prowess could decipher the artifact's mechanisms, Myra, whose combat skills ensured their safety, and a few trusted members from various races, each bringing their unique strengths to the mission. Their search led them to the ancient ruins of Temporal Citadel, a forgotten stronghold rumored to house remnants of lost time magic. The citadel stood atop a secluded mountain range, its stone walls weathered by time yet still emanating a faint aura of temporal energy. As they approached, the air grew thick with the subtle distortions of time, a testament to the powerful magic that had once thrived within these walls. The team moved cautiously, their senses heightened, aware that the chrono shard could attract unwanted attention. Deep within the citadel, they discovered a hidden chamber, its entrance concealed behind a series of intricate time-locked mechanisms. Alara and Thrain worked in tandem, deciphering the ancient scripts and manipulating the temporal locks with precision. After hours of meticulous effort, the chamber opened, revealing a pedestal upon which rested the chrono shard, a crystalline artifact pulsating with a mesmerizing light. As Kate approached the shard, she felt a surge of energy resonate through her being. The shard seemed to respond to her presence, its light intensifying as if acknowledging her connection to time magic. Alara carefully examined the artifact, her eyes wide with awe. It's unlike anything we've ever seen. The chrono shard holds the essence of pure temporal energy, untouched by corruption or manipulation. Thrain ran a diagnostic scan, his eyes scanning the data projected before him. Its structure is incredibly complex, yet stable. If we can harness its power safely, it could revolutionize our understanding of time magic. Myra remained vigilant, her hand never straying far from her weapon. We need to secure it and ensure that no one else can access it. If it falls into the wrong hands, the consequences could be catastrophic. Kate nodded, her mind racing with possibilities. We'll need to bring it back to the council for further study. But first, let's make sure this place is secure. We can't afford any disruptions during transport. As they prepared to leave, a sudden disturbance rippled through the citadel. The walls seemed to shift, and temporal energy surged around them. The team instinctively reached for their weapons, ready to face whatever threat had emerged. From the shadows, figures materialized, a rogue time weavers intent on seizing the chrono shard for their own purposes. Their leader, a formidable human weaver named Victor, stepped forward, his eyes gleaming with ambition. Hand over the chrono shard, and no one gets hurt. We know its true potential, and with it, we can reshape the very fabric of time to our will. Kate squared her shoulders, her gaze unwavering. You won't succeed, Victor. The chrono shard is too powerful to be controlled by those who seek to dominate and manipulate. We'll protect it with our lives if necessary. Victor smirked, raising his hands as temporal energy crackled around him. We'll see about that. The chamber erupted into chaos as temporal energy clashed with the team's defenses. Kate focused her powers, weaving the threads of time to create protective barriers and counteract Victor's assaults. Alara and Thrain worked together to stabilize the shard, preventing its energy from spiraling out of control. Myra engaged the rogue weavers, her combat prowess unmatched as she deflected their attacks with precision and strength. The battle was intense, each side pushing their abilities to the limit. Kate felt the strain of manipulating time on such a grand scale, but her determination fueled her actions. She knew that the fate of their world depended on their ability to secure the chrono shard and prevent it from falling into the wrong hands. In a final, desperate move, Victor attempted to seize the shard directly, his powers surging with a fierce intensity. Kate responded by channeling her energy through the shard, creating a temporal pulse that disoriented Victor and his followers. The resulting wave of energy destabilized the chamber, causing sections of the citadel to crumble around them. Realizing the imminent danger, Kate made a split-second decision. We need to evacuate now. Alara, Thrain, secure the shard. Myra, cover our retreat. The team moved swiftly, navigating the collapsing chamber as the temporal distortions threatened to tear the citadel apart. Victor, momentarily incapacitated by the pulse, struggled to regain his footing, but Kate and her team were already making their escape, the chrono shard safely in their possession. As they emerged from the ruins, the mountain air was thick with dust and the remnants of disrupted time magic. The team stood together, breathing heavily but triumphant. "We did it," Alar said, her voice tinged with relief. Thrain glanced back at the crumbling citadel. "The chrono shard is secure, but we need to ensure it doesn't cause further instability. We'll have to accelerate our studies and implement additional safeguards." Myra sheathed her weapon, her expression one of cautious optimism. "And we'll need to stay vigilant. There are always those who will seek to exploit power for their own ends." Kate nodded, her mind already shifting to the next steps. "We'll bring the shard back to the council and begin our research immediately. This artifact could be the key to preventing future anomalies and enhancing our ability to maintain temporal balance." As they descended the mountain, the team felt a renewed sense of purpose. The chrono shard was not just a powerful artifact, it was a symbol of their commitment to safeguarding time and ensuring that its magic was used responsibly and ethically. Their mission had just begun, and the challenges ahead would require unwavering dedication and unity. Back in New Alexandria, the council welcomed the team with open arms, their faces reflecting a mixture of exhaustion and relief. The chrono shard was carefully secured in a reinforced temporal vault, its energy contained and monitored by Alara and Thrain. The initial studies revealed that the shard possessed the ability to stabilize temporal energies, making it an invaluable tool in preventing and repairing anomalies. Over the following months, the Time Guardians Council worked tirelessly to integrate the chrono shard into their operations. Training programs were enhanced, incorporating the shard's properties to refine their time-weaving techniques and bolster their defenses against rogue manipulations. The presence of the shard also served as a deterrent, a tangible reminder of the consequences that came with the misuse of time magic. However, the tranquility was short-lived. Reports began to surface of temporal disturbances in distant lands, far beyond the immediate reach of New Alexandria. These anomalies were more severe than before, hinting at a larger, more coordinated effort to destabilize the world's timelines. It became evident that the Temporal Liberation Front was not acting alone, yet another, more sinister force was at play. Kate convened an emergency meeting with the council and her trusted allies. "We've dealt with internal threats before, but this is different. The scale and intensity of these anomalies suggests that we're facing a well-organized opposition, possibly with access to advanced time magic techniques we've yet to encounter." Alara frowned, her mind racing to connect the dots. The patterns resemble those of the chrono shard's energy, but distorted in a way that suggests intentional manipulation. It's as if someone is reverse engineering its properties for their own gain. Thrain nodded thoughtfully. "If they're able to harness the shard's energy, they could create massive temporal disruptions, potentially altering entire regions or even continents. We need to identify their methods and find a way to counteract them." Myra clenched her fists, determination etched on her face. "Whatever they're planning, we can't let them succeed. The stability of our world depends on us stopping them." Kate took a deep breath, feeling the weight of leadership pressing upon her. "We need to expand our investigation and deploy teams to the affected areas. This isn't just about containment anymore, it's about preventing a full-scale temporal catastrophe." "I'll lead the teams, but we'll need support from all corners of the council." The council agreed, mobilizing resources and dispatching specialized units to the hotspots of temporal disturbances. Kate and her team traveled to diverse regions, each presenting unique challenges. In the floating city of Irulan, time loops caused entire districts to repeat the same day endlessly. In the subterranean realms of the dwarves, temporal decay threatened to erase centuries of architectural marvels. Each mission tested their skills and resilience, but with the Chrono Shard's guidance, they managed to restore balance and mitigate the damage. Throughout their endeavors, Kate couldn't shake the feeling that they were being watched. Subtle hints of interference suggested that Samiania or something else was orchestrating the anomalies from the shadows. Determined to uncover the truth, she delved deeper into their investigations, piecing together fragments of information that pointed towards an ancient order of time weavers known as the Temporal Guardians. Legends spoke of the Temporal Guardians as the original keepers of time magic, dedicated to preserving the integrity of the timelines. However, centuries ago, a schism had fractured the order, leading to the rise of factions with differing ideologies. Some believed in absolute control over time, while others advocated for complete freedom. The latter faction, now seemingly resurfacing, sought to disrupt the established balance to reshape time according to their vision. Kate realized that the Temporal Liberation Front and the rogue time weavers they were facing were likely remnants of this ancient order, driven by a desire to reclaim their lost ideals and assert their dominance over time magic once more. To defeat them, Kate knew they had to address not just the symptoms but the root cause of the rebellion. One evening, as Kate reviewed the latest reports in her office, a familiar presence enveloped the room. Ethan's spirit, offering guidance and support. "Remember, Kate," his voice echoed softly, "the true strength of the Time Guardians lies not just in our ability to manipulate time, but in our commitment to its integrity and the unity of all races. Seek the origins, understand their motivations, and you will find the key to restoring balance." Drawing inspiration from Ethan's words, Kate focused her efforts on uncovering the history of the Temporal Guardians. Her research led her to ancient tomes and forgotten archives, revealing the true extent of the schism that had once divided the order. She discovered that the rogue faction had delved into forbidden aspects of time magic, seeking to transcend the natural flow of time and impose their will upon it. Armed with this knowledge, Kate formulated a new strategy. Instead of merely countering their actions, they needed to neutralize the source of their power, the forbidden techniques that allowed them to manipulate time so recklessly. This required not only confronting the rogue weavers but also offering them a path to redemption, a way to reconcile their ambitions with the principles of balance and harmony. The next mission took Kate and her team to the ancient Temple of Eons, a sacred site believed to hold the secrets of time magic's origins. The temple stood at the convergence of multiple timelines, its architecture a blend of all races' influences, symbolizing unity and cooperation. As they approached, the air shimmered with temporal energy, a sign of the temple's profound connection to the fabric of time. Inside, they were met by the temple's guardian, an ethereal being known as the Chrono Sage. The sage's presence was both awe-inspiring and serene, a testament to their deep understanding of time's complexities. "Welcome, Time Guardians," the sage greeted, their voice resonating with the timeless wisdom of the ages. "I have been expecting you." Kate stepped forward, her resolve unwavering. "We seek your guidance. The temporal anomalies plaguing our world threaten to undo everything we've worked to achieve. We believe that the source lies within the ancient teachings of the Temporal Guardians. Please, help us understand how to restore balance." The Chrono Sage nodded, gesturing for them to follow. "The path you seek is fraught with challenges, but with unity and understanding, it can be navigated." The rogue time weavers have tapped into the forbidden aspects of time magic, seeking to transcend the natural order. To counteract their actions, you must delve into the very essence of time itself and restore the harmony that was once lost. They led Kate and her team to the heart of the temple, where a grand chamber housed the celestial hourglass, a monumental artifact symbolizing the delicate balance of time. The hourglass's sands flowed smoothly, representing the natural progression of events, while intricate engravings depicted the intertwined destinies of all races. The celestial hourglass holds the key to restoring balance, the sage explained. By aligning its energies with the chrono shard, you can amplify its stabilizing effects, counteracting the rogue manipulations and preventing further anomalies. Kate approached the hourglass, the chrono shard pulsating in her hand. She carefully placed the shard into a designated slot at the base of the hourglass, its energy resonating with the artifact's zone. As the two powerful sources of temporal energy connected, a surge of light enveloped the chamber, harmonizing the flow of time and reinforcing the natural order. The chrono sage watched as the energies intertwined, their presence a silent testament to the collaboration between the time guardians and the ancient wisdom of the temple. With the celestial hourglass and the chrono shard united, you possess the means to restore balance and neutralize the rogue time weavers. But remember, true power lies not in control, but in harmony and respect for the natural flow of time. As the chamber stabilized, the team felt the weight of their mission solidify. They had the tools and knowledge necessary to confront the impending threat, but the journey ahead would require courage, unity, and unwavering dedication. Returning to New Alexandria, Kate briefed the council on their newfound strategy. The integration of the celestial hourglass and the chrono shard had not only stabilized the current anomalies but also provided a blueprint for preventing future disruptions. The council rallied behind her, their collective resolve strengthening the foundation upon which they would continue their efforts. The final confrontation loomed on the horizon, a decisive battle against the rogue time weavers and their leader, Victor. Armed with the combined power of the celestial hourglass and the chrono shard, Kate and her team felt prepared to face whatever challenges awaited them. As they embarked on their mission, the world watched with bated breath, hopeful that the Time Guardians would succeed in preserving the delicate balance of time and ensuring a harmonious future for all races. The journey had been long and arduous, but with unity and determination, they were poised to overcome the final obstacles and secure the legacy of peace they had fought so hard to achieve. And so, under the watchful eyes of the chrono sage and guided by the wisdom of the ages, Kate and her allies ventured forth, their hearts steadfast and their spirits unyielding, ready to weave the threads of time into a tapestry of unity, balance, and enduring harmony.